The story of the Bronze Age collapse, and the Sea Peoples on whom it is so commonly blamed, is one that has sparked a century of debate amongst archaeologists. Over the course of the last 100 years, almost every detail of its events has been disputed at one point or another. How did it happen? When? And most importantly of all, who or what was behind it? Was it the fault of the mysterious Sea Peoples, or were other factors behind the demise of the Bronze Age nations of the Eastern Mediterranean? Most of these questions are still being debated in one fashion or another, but the details we already know are beyond tantalising. Alongside centuries-old theories of warfare and foreign invasions, new theories of famine, civil unrest, and natural disaster are slowly creeping into the picture. The result was a saga, both dramatic and mundane, and one that holds eerie parallels to our own civilization in the 21st century. But before we can begin to understand the reasons behind the collapse, we have to familiarise ourselves with what the world of the late Bronze Age would have looked like. Already more than a millennium old, it was a world of startling complexity, covered in feuding nation-states, and containing more than one great power. To the west sat Greece, home to the great power centres of the Mycenaean culture. The east held Assyria, hegemon of Mesopotamia, and holder of the ancient cities of Akkad, Sumer, and Babylon. And in the middle, separated by a patchwork of vassals that stretched through modern Palestine and Syria, sat the opposing forces of the Hittite Empire and the Egyptian New Kingdom. Direct conflict between the two had long since passed, but still they jockeyed for power over the great trade routes of the East, from which flowed the precious tin and copper on which all kingdoms relied for survival. At first glance, the world of the 13th century BC seems a stable one, with its key players firmly entrenched in their respective homelands. But within the span of the next century, each of these nations would undergo a series of catastrophic setbacks. The lucky ones would see themselves reduced to a shadow of their former selves, whilst others would be torn asunder, surviving only as myths, passed down by word of mouth through the dark ages that succeeded them.